Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. My name's Eva and I want to thank you for joining me here. Today we're going to focus on allowing ourselves to let go of unrecognized grief, unacknowledged grief. So we're going to acknowledge it and then we're going to let it go. Sometimes we get lost in the sauce of acknowledging and it feels very real to us. And so to do this, we really want to bring in the conscious technology of forgiveness, which is really to see with the eyes of your eternal spirit, such that you see through the illusion into truth. You see that what you are forgiving never was, and so it is not. And what remains is your eternal being. We really don't want to lose sight of our reality in love here. We don't want to be healing from within the context of the wound, because that doesn't work. We want it to work, but it doesn't work that way. Because it reinforces our weakness, our belief in our weakness, and that's not what this expansion, this time of expansion and remembrance of our true self, of the true eternal beingness of ourselves, enlightened by this beingness into form, a new perception. You need to see with different eyes. You need to see with the eyes of spirit. And so you have to let that be, let that show you what it is. Stop trying to tell it what it is. It doesn't need you. It doesn't need your ego to tell it what it is, and your ego will never be able to receive its message. So we open to our true self now. We receive the message truly as it's meant to be received. And then as it is received, it is shared and it is offered. So I really encourage you to give this time to yourself, give this time to love, give this time to creation. Give this time to remembering timelessness and to letting illusion be undone from your belief and what you hold and what you carry and what you offer and what you see reflected back to you. Let this be loosened now. So take some nice deep breaths, be comfortable, if you need to pause and get into a place where you won't be interrupted. There are no ads in these videos. A deep reverence for life itself, for what you really are. Hinatunya mayani toya oshnita ya nutumya ni oroinyata. So let your heart open. Draya sunchakorro. Let your defenses be loosened. Let that love in. Let that love in to show you the truth. Hi orukuna inimayon chuntro atina draya toyo korroinyana. Himayon suto arruishiti kanais nandrais yotut. Himoshindratus noarainyam natriki. Hitorukun shipa yanando umi ayana umi aini umiata. Kinioncho korrukun yimnitroesi sho rinyas. Hinya ruisto arruinyam natratuin, hikoyo sucho arritis dayanya tukum shitrikio yotua oshnita, himeais yonyo arruituyo sotua, hinyandoya kuno amaya orruitio sotsoa oshinyandais yoto ruinyam natrayaeki, hinyandais yocho arrukuin soptor kunum notruiti shikiatis. This is coming through with a strong message of like physical longing. A grief of perceiving that and believing that you do not have what you long for. Which is really a belief that love is something to be gained from without yourself. That's why we always position this healing with correct current flow, right? Flow coming from the eternal so that you are not left somewhere where you believe you are without love. You start in the practice that you are love, in the realization, in the awakening, in the remembrance that you are love, the experience of love itself, not as symbolized by another person or another situation or even in your own body. It's not body-based. It is this formless, eternal love. And then you rest in that love. And that's what allows those wounds to really be healed, because it's not a resolution that comes from without. It's not a resolution that comes from, I will be healed of this when I achieve X, Y, or Z, when this person shows up, when a relationship like this comes, when there's, some kind of reconciliation of some kind, maybe from the past or something new that is going to come and fix, something in your life. It is letting go of the attachment to those circumstances, or the belief that that's what has to happen for you to feel love, for you to feel fulfilled, for those wounds to heal. There's nothing outside of you that needs to happen for wounds to be healed. It is a recognition. It is an acceptance. It's really an acceptance that they are already healed because of what you are. That requires a loosening of, and eventually an abandonment of completely, what it is you currently believe you are in separation. It's always the same thing that's going to heal you. You don't heal differently in different circumstances. It's always going to be that one truth of love itself that you are. That is where the healing is. That is where you are healed. That is for all things that you believe are wrong or need healing or are wounded or separated or painful or evil or anything like that. It is all drawn back. It is all consumed by the reality of love. Kinamorro kunayan sindria tiorro kutitaya, kinyandaya sunsorro kunushandro atiniam natri kia yeshiti orro toyotorro kotiatraisi. Shindritis nondro aosti patraya tiniomorro kunindritis nandrat, himaya sunji kia itisio orro kunindisici orro. Hina umyandaratis nindri orrukuisio pshorrukunandratayai. Hi oshiti ki hi orrukuasinya. Hinyanda yanorro kunamayaniiti siti shiawarroitiasa. Forgiveness is in your sight. Kitaya sunchukurkuitisiata. It is a form of projection here. Kinandruyatianoto amat. It is not needed in wholeness. Kinandruyatiyashot. It is needed in the world. But you see how you change the world by changing your mind, by changing the identity of yourself in your own belief of what you are. Then that is offered. If you are a being of love, you naturally see that all beings must be that way also, because the core of all life is one. And so it is reconciled into wholeness. It's not specific. It's not personal in the way we think of personal by the way of a separated self. It's the relationship and the intimacy that you have with the one life is very personal. That is immersion itself. It is not to be without it. And in this way, it is very easy to be healed because it is our natural state. And so it is always going to come back to unraveling the beliefs of the attachment that you have to other networks of things outside of you that need to be resolved in a certain way in your mind. It need not be. Kinandia torrukui sinyanda tunyum morro kunaisio chorro kunainsiatok hinyanda yanituma awashni tiandai si. Whatever is coming into your mind now as a symbol of this, use that as the gateway. It might be a specific person, it might be a specific circumstance or longing that you feel. There's certainly a lot of heartache, what feels like broken heart syndrome. I can't remember what the medical name for broken heart syndrome is. I think it starts with a T, but it is that sort of the strings, the inside of your heart, the web that keeps the heart as a open, the ventricles and the arteries and the chambers that keep it open, they start to come apart. It collapses within itself. We remain open. We open that structure that we have made here to allow love in, to support its form, so that we don't keep projecting form that collapses in on itself and reverts and reverses and is painful and is attacking and is oppositional, but that we remain open to extension. But it's for you. It's for you to receive it from within yourself, then to be offered. And you see that that's not a separate process. It is in the receiving, and then the giving is immediate, because that's the natural state of it. Kinandor kunindi sonja kurkunandra tu yaki shinya turukuna andare hiniam dati sitsi to shokorukuisio to andritisnin. And this is healing from within, from the inside out. Tatruatuyo kumya torkunindriti. So you can see that all lessons are the same. It's all a representation, wearing different hats and masks and outfits and scenes and dramas, but it's all the lesson is one. Tanta kumyanda yishin dikanantus. So we're really being called to not make the lesson what's meaningful, not the circumstances of the lesson that's meaningful. We don't cling to those circumstances. We learn to hear the voice of Spirit in all things to teach us the one lesson, to learn that lesson perfectly. You can learn it perfectly through all circumstances of your life. Don't search for specific circumstances that you think you need to wait for enlightenment for. Kandatina nur kuisio chokunyan dinyandisin sorkuta. But really, really give love to yourself. Give love to that heart space. There's a heaviness. You can let that go. You are very safe to let that go. You can let that go. Tanti torru kunyandas nushnandi. Kunumori kinyandasio sorrokotias. Hatro roko arato rorahitat. Randi somoratinyanda karkiti tiotoko. Hinyandoko rokuin hitos oshitrat. Hinyandisi sho in timor kutusti. Hinyantayanuto aomini. Hinyandorotista inni. Hi kayashu husitiasha. Sinsantia sunjo korruinyam natri I hinya. Hu ipiasha karatoroko hitanantorkunam naha. Kinandoa shanat. Let love replace the fear that you hold in yourself. Let it be done. It is done. Let it be done. Kandratoso konashin. Let it be done through your own vision of yourself. Kandatia muarrekuin. Hindu rukuna tratinyanda sitsiosh itayanayana wonya. Hinyanda sinsatritish. Love is for you. Happiness is for you. Where we get caught up is trying to make it be something, mean something specific in the way that our physical lives play out. Or we think as a conduit that it is then for others but not for yourself, and you keep having to learn really difficult lessons and be in pain, and that's a martyrdom thing that's pretty easy to slide into when you do any kind of service. We're really working on letting go of the belief that love and offering is sacrifice. That's always tied up into healing the heart. Tatia torkush, that this is meant for some hypothetical future, this is meant for some afterlife, or this is meant for other people, but I have to suffer for other people to be free. That's not it. And that needs to change in your own conception of yourself to be happy in this now. Because you are here in the physical, and you are meant to live a physical life, and you are meant to be interacting and to be in the field and to be having beautiful experiences. But you need to adjust the way that you believe you are in the role that you play here and what you believe is not meant for you. And instead of railing against that by saying you think that Spirit's always leading you somewhere that you don't want to be, and that everything in your dreams is not meant for you because you live this life with spirit, and that means you have to continue to walk through hell, that is very tightly held. It's very tightly held as an identity, and it's causing you suffering, and so it must be let go. It must be brought into the light. It can feel embarrassing to look at. It can feel yucky to look at. It can feel like, oh, I don't believe that. But we need to be radically honest, and we need to understand that there's no judgment here because it's all illusion. It's all not anything. And it can be gone very easily when you stop letting it run your life. Really listen to spirit. Really listen to what spirit's telling you. Spirit would have you understand you are free right now. All of the conditions for your happiness are right now because it's unconditional. It does not require anything outside of yourself. And don't let your mind immediately go to, well, that means I'm condemned to live a shitty physical life and I'm going to have to keep doing shit I don't want to do. Because that's what's coming up in the current. And that's a control, that's a defense control mechanism that will run you into sadness. And it will make you hate spirit. And it's not spirit that's telling you that. It will cause a lot of resentment in your life and your relationship to spirit, and that's misplaced because it's your ego talking to you. It would have you turn away from your true self. It would have you turn away from love. Kinandria torro kuni shinti kanandaya sutsoro ni namnatri kana yando korrokois. Shindi kandiko rokunyam natraya sutchokorkuti datayatus. This is coming through a little more in the solar area of personal power and what an agency in communication with the field. Spirit's not really like a puppet master that's controlling your life. There is an agency that you have in this physical world, led by spirit. You let go of the strings you're holding to your attachments about the grief of what you believe you haven't experienced. That's where the strings are held to the grief that is represented by a physical experience or relationship or circumstance or life that you feel like you haven't had. Yanandator kotisan sa kunishin dikana yanyor kotayata hinyamayo korro kuisin sor kunindritisi chokorota ra yandi orko ara yani dom yandate yataishi sit sandri kiana woshi tikini ma unya ti ior kotisin chikinai yanyandor kotiana tishnindrus. I think we're going to draw this to a close right now in this video, but as always, stay in meditation as you feel called. You can play it from the beginning. You can do whatever you feel called to stay in the awareness as you feel led. Always give yourself some time after you do this work just to adjust yourself to it. Let it innervate your experience. Let it replace your fearful projection. You have to let it. It's not going to do it unless you let it do it. And you let it by giving it time, by giving it your attention, by truly attuning to it, by attending to it. And by not attending to your fearful beliefs. That is where you participate. Amen. I'm going to go over and do the member video for this week, and we'll follow the current of this energy. I'm also trying to theme the weeks a bit more so the trance meditations are a reflection of the sort of core concept. So this week seems to be this unresolved grief and attachment to the grief. And so this week's trance meditation will be focused on that as well. There's a subscription for the trance meditations, which includes all of the ones I've ever done in the past and all of the new ones. You could also just get them one at a time on my website. You can find out all that information below. You can also book personal sessions via those links. All of that information is always available. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can email me or leave comments, or there's a website contact form as well. So thank you all so much. God bless you. Remember your strength. Remember where your strength comes from. You are not alone. You have never been alone. It is impossible for you to be alone. You are one in the mind of God, and you are one with all of your brothers and sisters. All life in this planet and all others, all formless being is you. Amen. Thank you.